Let's go live to former Labor Minister, my Sky News colleague Graham Richardson. Graham, this week, it's interesting, the final sitting week of 2024, a lot of bills the government has that it wants to get through, but it seems like they're not that displeased with if, the Greens and the Coalition team up to block various bits of their plan, because they can say that they're being obstructionist and target both of them in different ways. Yeah,
it's sort of a win-win for the government. I mean, if the legislation doesn't pass, then they simply blame the obstructionism of the Greens and the opposition. They're in front. If it passes, they're in front anyway. So, it's a win-win.
People are hurting, as we've discussed, with cost of living. How would you say things are right now as we head into Christmas and with the election just around the corner?
Well, I'd say that, people are doing it tough, but they usually are. When do you ever hear stories about how well we're all doing? I can't remember reading one of them. So it's normal for this sort of thing to be discussed. Governments just have to wear that and get on with the job. But I don't see any movement in the Australian people which would actually unseat this government. I can't see it. I can't even see the beginning of it.
So with the polling that has 51-49, some of the major polls, including Newspoll, has the Coalition ahead 51-49. That's not enough to spook you?
No. Look, I think if you look at the polls, they're not always right anyway. But I also think that when you get closer to the election, when people focus more, there's more likely that they're going to turn towards the government than the opposition. I think the governments usually get a bit better before the actual election day. So if I was Alba, I'd be feeling pretty good.
Is there an element here where the government has not just the incumbency, but recent history that had so many changes of Prime Minister? The one, you could say a lot about this government, whatever you like, in terms of their policy and political antenna, but they have had stability, Graham.
They've had great stability, and the factions have worked really well together. They've worked out there's not much point in fighting, so they've gotten together, and if anyone from any faction sort of bobs up as some sort of a discordant note, then you find that everyone just crushes in on them and says, "Pull your head in, pal," and they do.
And how important is that? And further to that, is it important for a campaign on both sides? Peter Dutton obviously has been very disciplined. He's helped unify his party in the first term in a way that we haven't seen for a long time. He's done it extraordinarily well. But for both sides, is it important that you don't just have the PM or opposition leader leading the charge in terms of the campaign, that you need key players elsewhere, like, say, I'm thinking Jason Clare or Jim Chalmers for Labor?
Yes, you need a few, but you don't need many. I think if you've got a top five on either side, there's just not room in advertising or anything like that to fit anybody else. That's about all you're going to be able to do. And so I think they've got both sides have got a reasonably good top five, but I think Labor's probably got the nudge.
Richo, great to chat. We'll catch you later in the week.
Shall do.